Hello everybody, welcome to another day of Cosmoteer. We are going to be looking at a whole bunch of community ships today, going over them, so let me get everything all set up here and get in. Let's clear everything off. And bear with me one moment as I get this thing set up. Alright, let's come over here. Let's look at the first ship. We'll come to Battle Helper. We'll add a ship in. Come over here. Welcome's on school. We're not in October anymore. We're in November. New folder. 11.8.2023. Alright, so we got a bunch of ships here. I guess since all fighters at the top, let's pull an all fighter ship. Unable to find node parts. Well, that's interesting. Oh, that's a PNG. Aren't they supposed to be PNGs? I don't know. There's something wrong with this ship. Yeah, there's something wrong with this ship right here, all fighter. Lowest man air holds up. It's been a while. Working day. Aki Fox, Jaffix, welcome Jaffix, welcome Aki Fox, welcome Host Shin, welcome Unexcited. Alright, well, I can't get that first ship. Maybe you can fix it by the time we get back to it. But let's circle back. Restart this. All Fighter has designed a newer type of ship which got these chain guns on both sides. And you got nukes. Doesn't look like there's enough point defenses to take out a single nuke. They still landed. Still, I like how you have these layering of shields over and over and over again. So the nukes still land. What I would probably suggest is if maybe you need a tiny bit more point defenses to be able to stop the nukes actually from hitting. But I mean, it doesn't technically need it because it has all these shields, right? Other than that, I really like the design. I like this layer stacking of walkways here as they stack back and forth. Because when they cross by, they lose a little bit of movement, but they gain a little bit of movement as they're moving around, so that's kind of neat. The chain guns still eat away at shields. So it's a really, really neat idea. You know what you could do to make it even more interesting? Is if you added some type of energy weapons to this. Because you have this downtime with these chain guns. I know you have these nukes, but if you added some type of energy weapon right around the shield section, either right next to the shield or away from it, and either added like 1 or 2 disruptors, maybe like right here, is what I'm thinking, right next to the big shield, it would make a huge impact. Here, let me just show you basically what I mean. Either right here, so that the disruptors can shoot out. So if you added something like this, like that. Now I know it doesn't supply very well, and then maybe move this shield, and then you have an extra door here, obviously. And then remove this, and then add it so that they can actually supply the disruptors. That'd make a huge actual difference to the way this works. Just change that up a tiny bit. And then what I would do is I would rip this out and or move it. Like move it 1 cell over. I haven't figured it out yet. And then if you save this, testing 1.1. Oh, clearly clicked on the wrong thing. All right. Pulling this one. And now that you have disruptors but nobody assigned to it, because clearly you have dedications. energy runners. Do the energy runners have? They have disruptors, and you don't have anybody to supply. Supply runners. Do these guys even have one to supply? Well, you need to change this. This would need to be. What do you have? The shields. Shields are set to 1. So what are these guys dedicated for? Energy runners. Probably energy runners would be the ones that are doing your shields, right? 9 and 10. So supply battery 9. And we're just gonna give them a 9. Well, we'll give them a 10. Just for now. I'm not gonna mess with the whole thing. Oh, no dedications. We choose... Huh. We'll do the point defense guys for now. We save that. Sorry, messing with your ship there, All-Fighter. But with disruptors, then you have this constant base of fire with taking out the shields, and all of a sudden, what should happen here, in theory, I guess it adds a whole nother weak point there. And then nobody's supplying energy because they're supplying to the point defenses more. You need to change dedications for that just a little bit. But the the disruptors would take out the shields in theory, so that your chain guns can do a little bit more. But these are not even firing anymore. I would have to mess with the dedications more. But the idea there, see, and then you would probably add either one more shield, move these things around a little bit. Maybe the walkway could be like this to the bigger shield to come over here to the disruptors. But you see, if these were firing, then you could take out these shields and you can win all the time versus your own ship. Either disruptors or type of energy weapon. That's the idea behind it. Obviously, this still needs work, but that's the concept. That's my suggestion on that one. Alright, let's move to... Oh, I still can't pull in that one. Did anybody post in a new one? Nope. I can't touch that ship, All-Fighter, if you're here, or if you're not here, then I guess I don't have it. I'm late, but I'm here. Hey, Turtle Tipper. And my kid just woke up. Good morning. I know. Alright, restart this battle. I'm gonna go get my kids some food. We'll watch these two ships hash it out a little bit, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let's get the ship, tore the other ship apart. So, let's look at this. Hold on, let me make sure. Okay, my audio's still good. Still pretty early, huh? Yeah, it's early. It is early for me. I like these little red dots that he has right here. Gives them these little eyeballs. Now you already have these disruptors right here, which makes sense. All fighter, whenever you join, whenever you can watch this. I really like how these cannon placements and how this one's really just doing a lot of damage. I mean, the only real test that I can say to this one is come over here and let's come back over here and let's test one of whole ships versus it. So this one right here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cannons. And then look at all the shields placement on this thing. All those nukes are definitely doing damage on the side. But if you see this right here, you see all these cannons? This is a more dangerous ship in a front-to-front battle. I don't even know the cost difference. Okay, there is definitely cost more. And you have another one. These ones are cannons, probably older. But for 1,000,000, this one is a nasty, nasty front-to-front ship. Even side-to-side, it would be very interesting. But I like your design there. For 896 for 4 cannons and the nukes and everything on it. Very deadly there, all fighter. I like it. Pantera? Where's your Pantera? Turtle tipper. Oh, Pantera. Oh, the Pantera is gonna win. You have so much more armor. Look at this armor on here. My money's on the Pantera. But because they're aiming at this booster because the AI for whatever reason, I still think the Pantera has a better chance. Even though if he blows up this booster right here, if a nuke goes off right here, it will chain react here. Or it could. Didn't look like it did. The nuke did. I did see the nuke go off. It didn't chain react. And so now the AI is going to probably either shoot in the middle and or shoot for this booster. I saw another nuke go off here and it still didn't blow up that cannon, so that's pretty neat. Yeah, the Pantera wins still. You guys just have so much armor there, Turtle Tipper. Yeah, my money would still be on the Pantera. In a front-to-front battle, this thing has so much armor. True turtle. It reminds me of a turtle. And you'd see even then, a nuke went off right here, but it didn't blow up these other cannons because you have just enough armor to protect it so that even though you lose one cannon, it still just keeps going. Yeah, neat ship there, Turtle Tipper. Alright, LTD Fox. He just submitted this one this morning. Back over here to this. Let's look at Masaka. I can't even pronounce his name. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm sorry. The newest version with paint. I do remember I really like these point defenses. Are the point defenses too far back so they're not actually stopping all the railgun shots? You're having energy issues back here when they're firing versus each other. Oh, that's because of EMP. EMP on top of you only have a small generator back there. Your point defense is a little farther back on this new design here so that you're not stopping all the railgun shots from hitting up front. You see how they're actually hitting? So they're a little far back. But I haven't seen any shots go off and actually take these out yet. Because you have nice placement of shields back here. I like this. The idea from, I don't know if you took it from HOSIPs, but I like the idea of the shields covering the actual point defenses just perfectly enough and giving you space for walkways. So got a revision on the PD wings at this time to a more classic configuration. Yeah, I'm working if I should move them a bit up and change the reactor to a medium. If you can see right here when they're facing each other, but just know that you see how the reactor, aim for the reactor. If you do change it to a medium reactor, it is a big bomb because you see how it exploded. It does have a good amount of defense. So if it is a medium reactor, obviously energy would be better here. Point defenses, we get enough energy. But if you change it to medium, make sure you have enough crew to supply everything to make sure it's going. But maybe a couple tiles forward with the point defenses may help with it. Just as first observations. As far as the railgun shooting, I haven't seen any issues with it. No energy issues. Doing quite good. And this front defense is great. There's just the wing part right here is weak points. And if possible, maybe add like a tiny armor layer wall separation from the, like you have here for the engine room, in case you do lose this whole wing armor. Just one layer of armor maybe to help with, in case this blows up, this still stays here. But it's not needed, but it's just a suggestion. It adds more weight, and especially since you're doing a railgun design, speed matters the most. So it depends on what you're doing, what type of combat, if you're getting flanked or you're losing your wings often. Still, I like the design. Probably another thing to look at too is when you start losing the right hand section, you have crew sitting around, and I don't know what these crew are dedicated to do. And maybe giving them a second priority or whatnot. Or maybe they're just here for the shields. These guys are just here for those shields. Okay, I got it. So unless you're actually getting heavily hammered in the front, these guys will sit here and do nothing. Kind of what it looks like. That's what that looks like to me. Still, cool design. I like it. I'm sure if you were manually controlling this, it would do even better. They'll just make the defense wings entirely separate compartments. One nice shift from the forward a bit. Overall, the design is pretty close to. Yeah, I mean, it's a really nice design. Aki Fox. Almost 1.2 million. Yeah, point defenses just have to shift up just a tiny bit to block for the front. They're great for missiles on the side, but they're not helping protect the front at all with how far back they are. And or it could be that you added this tiny bit of armor here. If you shifted this in, because you see, notice these point defenses are hitting this. This might have to shift just a little bit more in to angle to actually hit in. It's either move it forward or shift your armor here on the side right here so that these point defenses are not hitting armor and actually hitting shots that are being shot at it. So still, I like the design. I think it's this armor. This armor is actually probably the easier placement instead of moving everything. Like if you came over here and you just did something like this. I know I'm messing with your armor. And did a 1-3 piece like this. This would be a 2-piece like this. And save this. So 1.1. And down to 1.1 here. See, with just a tiny bit of armor change right there. And you may have to change a little bit more armor. But what that should do... Yeah, you're not stopping every single shot, but you're stopping some. This little bit more armor and or the point defense has to come up just a tiny bit more. Maybe 1 or 2 squares forward. But that armor piece right there, see they're still hitting armor. They're still shooting at armor because they can't get the angle right down the middle. But then it ruins the whole word as a design because this looks like a head of some kind of dragon or something. Those are the forward shield crews. I might fiddle with the decorations a bit so that you don't sit idle if large shields aren't under fire. Yeah, maybe giving them the second or third priority so they're not just sitting there waiting for the big shields to go off. Yeah, I don't even know if changing the armor even made a huge difference. It's just the idea. The point defenses are not stopping every shot. For the front armor, I'm thinking to shift the huge backwards thrusters down a bit and forego some forward thrust to streamline the armor. That might help. He's thinking about moving these huge backwards thrusters down. Still, it's a cool design. I like it there. I like it, AkiFox. Alright. Wipe these guys out. Move on to the next ship. Pastor Damascus. I don't know if Pastor Damascus is here, but we're going to pull in another railgun ship. 1.8 million. That's a very interesting railfan. Oh, you just saw that right there? The first couple shots. Okay, then you're blowing up some more railguns. Side armor is cool, front armor is pretty cool, except for down the railgun shafts. Not enough shields. Yeah, doesn't have enough forward defense. He literally has to be able to. So when you're looking at this, you can't even. I'm trying to think of how you would change this. How would you add in? Because there's no space to add a secondary shield there. Huh. I don't know. There's not enough space to add another shield. Like it was a thing to maybe add another shield like right here. But then how do you get the people to that shield? Like if you were to come over here, I mean, I guess there is just a tiny bit. No, there's not enough space. There's not enough space to add a shield in between. Yeah, you don't have... That's the only downside, is just something in the front right here. As soon as the shots go off, you're already losing your railguns. Now obviously versus other ships that are not railguns to railguns, you see the ship just blew up. Basically it's gone already after a couple of volleys. Gotta fix this head somehow or pass it Damascus. Other than that, speed wise, engine room wise, looks pretty cool. Cool railgun idea. Needs some kind of frontal armor love. Let's move to the next one. The battleship. Oh, the bullet ship, sorry. The bullet ship. like this back type of zigzag type of armor thing that holds this back here like that. Hey, just got back from the bathroom, man. I haven't got to your ship stairs on school yet. I like how it has more thrust and maneuverability. I mean, this ship reminds me of in-game ship, but this one's better. I like the design one, this one better. Like, this reminds me of... Let's see if I can even find it. It's going to be in the built-in ships. It's going to be under design contest, May 2023, I think. Actually, it might be February 2023. Right here, it's the Crusher. It reminds me of this one. The Crusher costs less crew though, but this bullet ship is definitely better. Has more armor, even has side to side. You see how the side to side? He has this side to side. But maybe the Crusher will do better because it has more movement with thrusters in the front. Nope. Weak points with thrusters. Where this magic bullet is kind of neat. And he has 3. Okay, you see this right here? This one factory should be flipped. So the one thing that you're going to change on this is this factory right here. You check that off. You pick this up, you reverse vertically flip it, you put it back down, and you see how now the sulfur is facing this way? I don't know if you had dedications to this or not. And that makes a huge difference. So instead of them walking all the way around, do you have power actual set to this? Okay, now they're bringing power. And you see how they literally can just... This would be better. This would make it better. Shipyard, November 1.1. I didn't even bring in 1.1, did I? There we go. 1.1 versus not the 1.1. So the difference, the only thing that I changed, and it made a small looking difference, is a reverse one factory. And so now the ammo's right there. You see how they have to take one step, and then take the sulfur in, one step. Compared to here, look, see they have to walk all the way across. They grab sulfur to walk all the way across. They have to grab ammo to walk all the way across. Tiny little change, but it optimizes it to make it just a little bit better. See how they're walking? He has to walk over there, grab the ammo. This guy has to walk all the way across just to get the ammo across or get the sulfur across. Where here, it's just one step. You save just seconds, which in the long run, it makes a big difference. I mean, maybe it will still lose because this one has this floating piece of armor in the front. Yeah, it's still lost. But the difference is there. It's all just about when things start floating, armor floating, go around, and what the defense is. But that's the change I would make. It makes a difference. Tiny difference. Alright. There's the magic bullet. The Goblin Transporter. This is going to be a transporter ship. In the short term, it doesn't make that much of a difference, but it helps in the long run. Yeah, in the long run. Short term it doesn't, but I mean, if you have a whole bunch of ships going around, it actually has these mining lasers that can mine against each other. Here's my question about this Goblin Transporter. Why does it need all this armor? Are you ever expecting to engage in combat? As a transporting ship, as soon as you're going to engage in combat, most things that you're going to encounter is going to blow you up so fast. It's better to be able to run away than to stay there and try to fight. Especially if you only have mining lasers. So instead, I would say get rid of a lot of the armor and just go for speed. That's my suggestion there for the transporter ship. And or instead of, if you wanted to space it look-wise, put in put in crew members to help resupply ships. Other than that, it's still a cool design. I like it. And I like the name, the Goblin Transporter. So, that's a cool one. I like it. Cool little transport ship. Alright. Come back over here. Let's do Plunder Jeff. Plunder Jeff has ships in the Steam Workshop. So, we are going to be looking for... obviously, clearly, I can't remember how to... When I get to the Steam Workshop. Oh, there it is. Clearly, my brain is not working today. Daylight saving time. Yeah, you speed over armor on transport ships. Okay, we're gonna looking for the first one, which is the Founder's Forge. Founder's Forge. This was made by Thunder Jeff. Alright, he has a URL. We're just gonna go to the URL. Founder's Forge. Let's pull it in. Okay, Steam Workshop. Founder's Forge. Steam Workshop again. Founder's Forge. Thunder Jeff ship. Or Jaffix in the actual stream chat. Ooh, that's a lot of nukes. Did they purposely fire in two different sequences? Why'd you get them to do that? Or are they supposed to fire together? Hold on, let's just see if it was a fluke of the game. This volleyed first and then this fired second. Are they supposed to fire at the same time? Or just whenever they got in distance? No, one fires first and the other fires the second. This feels like one of those ships that you encounter in the game. And it would be a devastating blow if you don't take it out fast enough. I like the paint. And all of these nukes are definitely devastating. And then even if the nukes don't get you, you still have these cannons firing at you constantly. How much was this ship? 1.2? Here, let's test against November. This versus this. I think the Founder's Forge will probably win because of all the nukes. If a volley gets off, yeah, the nukes are what's gonna devastate. See how it's just gonna eat away? I mean, he'll blow up one wing, and he'll blow up a second wing, but with all these nukes coming at you, boom. It's a neat design there, Jaffix. For a combat type ship that you would face, or maybe face in-game, that is a deadly ship to face in a front-to-front battle. Small weak points in the back. I don't know why you have doors to the engines, so for your recommendation there, Jaffix, There is no reason to have this door, this door, or this door. Or these doors. Oh, I accidentally deleted that. I didn't mean to. See these doors? Not needed. Just like this. Why do you have a door there to those? That would be my recommendation for that. And I don't know what else is possibly here. Okay, those are all facing right the factories. Yeah, just those doors. Other than that, it's a pretty neat ship. Yeah, I can't see. You have tons and tons and tons of fire extinguishers, which I love. Yeah, it works great. That's a cool ship there, Jeffix. Or Plunder Jeff, or whatever it is that you are. Let's come over here. Let's browse another Steam Workshop ship. He has one more here, and it's called the Crusader. We'll just go directly to it with the actual URL. Subscribe. Come back over to Steam Workshop, and we'll look for the Crusader. Crusader PvP. Crusader. How well has this done in PvP? That's a lot of point defenses. Oh, he's even got the chain guns in the middle. That's a lot of disruptors. The point defenses. Okay, I'm no expert in PvP, but my understanding is if you do this like this and you take the Crusader PvP, and then let's come over here and let's look for November. And if you were to face something like this, right? And obviously I had to come over here and I do a control shift click on these and make sure that they are not fire at will, which they are. Change this to fire at target. And I would take this and I would aim right down this like this. And I were to just rotate back and forth. Yeah, it would go right through it. And then you also have this one constantly firing like that. So in PvP, this is what I would assume you would encounter. A rail fan like that. And as you can see, I know I'm rotated still, but if I were to just rotate back and forth like this, not enough speed to catch up to the rail fan. This is what I feel you would encounter more in a PvP scenario. Somebody would build something like this. I don't even know if the same cost. How much was that? $1.8. Okay, cost-wise it's not even the same. But maybe if we were to come over here and we would take something like this one. Do you ever catch up to this one? This is more of the similar cost. And eventually this railgun would probably whittle away and or run out of ammo. But if you can't catch this other ship, then eventually this guy can maneuver and he could possibly even sideswipe and hit your weak points, which would be your side right here, and go for this generator on this side. It's a cool ship, it's got lots of armor, but it doesn't have enough speed when it comes to speed and maneuverability for possible PvP. Only now it just caught up. and maybe it will start whittling away once it catches up. But I'm thinking, honestly, once you get up this close, the damage that it could do... Well, I mean, maybe it did catch up finally. Maybe it just needs... I think it just needs a tiny bit more speed. Well, I guess it doesn't because it has these extra boosts. I don't know what I'm talking about. You have the speed because you have these. So if you come over here and you push the F key on this, it should be able to go zoom. So maybe it is designed for PvP better than I think. He's got these special boosters in the back. Huh. I don't have an answer. I don't know how it's designed unless you actually see him fly this ship. So Plunder Jeffix, whenever you watch this, or however you fly this ship, I'm sure you fly it way differently than the AI flies it. With these boosters that can literally push it into combat to do exactly what it just did. So it's probably a better PvP ship than I am making assumptions on it. Probably a lot better. Interesting. I would love to see how it actually performs in a real PvP battle when you're flying it. I don't know how to fly it. I didn't design it, so. But I like it. Crusader PvP. That's a neat ship. Woolsip has a whole bunch of interesting new designs. 100 point prot. What does 100 point prot mean? 475 with 74 crew. It's got back chain guns. $100 command points. Okay, that makes more sense now. This is a deadly ship to face with the armor facing like this and the shield. Even though they take out this, if they take out this one shield, he's got this protection and protection here. And you see, the shield's still going. Just like this, these shields right here protecting this. And then they still gotta go through this armor and these shields to get to this power plant. And then the boosters are protected because of all this armor right here. Like you to get the strafing in. That is a very interesting design. For 500,000, I think this one can even beat some of the ships even I have. Like even if I were to come over here and say, hey, let's face it versus anything that's even close to. I guarantee Hosip's new ship right here, because this huge amount of armor in the front. The chain guns, is this ship should win. My assumption. The chain gun should be able to rip this apart. Yeah, took out this whole flank, and it should be able to take out this whole flank right here. Shouldn't have a problem. And then once the second volley of the chain gun, it should be able to rip this whole other section apart. And then it's just a matter of the cannons. I mean, it looks kind of blocky, but it's still, it's efficient-wise is really cool. These new chain guns really add a whole nother layer to the game. Deadly ship. Head armor, deadly design with everything that we've discussed throughout all the different times that we've done Cosmoteer engineering. And then you have these back huge chain guns with this volley that it can go through. The front's still protecting versus all that damage. Yeah, just wipes out my other ship, no problem. And you can see right here, cost-wise, it's way it's cheaper. By 100,000 cheaper, and it still can do crazy amount of damage. All right, I like it. 100 command point. November 8th? Oh, there's another one of these new orders. Oh, what is this? 3 million? Wow. This is the one where they're gonna fly in this weird, make you get dizzy if you stare at it long enough, I'm sure. It's got this neat angle. And then you have these flaks right here, deflect guns to stop missiles from hitting this side. You get these shields and this crazy volley of lasers and disruptors. And that's facing toward this. Have you ever seen anybody design a ship like this besides Hosubs? Just slowly. This reminds you of a clock, right? Two of them. Or whatever, whirlpool. I don't know what you want to. I don't know what you want to say about that. I can't stare at it too long up front. Just make you dizzy. All right, you gotta face it versus in-game ship. For 3 million. A death spiral? Yeah, that's kind of what that is. Built-in ships. I don't even know what to face it versus. There's gonna be a built-in ship, fringe, combat. What am I thinking of? What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of the clockwork, but even the clockwork I don't even know is 3 million. Is clockwork in fringe? Clockwork is. But this is only 1.5. Like, this ship is more massive, more deadly, and it flies in this interesting angle. I guess right here, when you're facing against another missile ship, this is not enough. I don't know why all these point defenses are not firing. Didn't know that ship, but somehow a similar flak. Yeah, Clockwork is a really, really powerful in-game ship. And you can see if you face this ship versus Clockwork, you might want to look at how Clockwork is designed, because you didn't have enough speed to catch up to it. But all of a sudden, once this ship becomes its own ship, look at the damage this single, maybe even having a separation piece so they can separate so this thing can fly off on its own. I don't know. Clockwork is a deadly ship to face in-game. And it still cut this other ship in half just because of the middle part. Cost-wise, obviously your ship's twice this ship, but maybe you can get ideas from Clockwork, because that's what I thought of when I first saw that one. But it's different. Yours is definitely different because it flies in a different angle and everything. And then once it's separated, look at this deadly amount of shields and disruptors and everything else. And then it's its own piece. I don't know, maybe you design it so that it can separate just like it just did. So it can do exactly what it's doing. Well, you probably didn't expect it to do this, but This is a neat shield wall. If anybody wants to take an idea of a shield wall, this is kind of a neat idea. Alright, let's move to the next one. I don't even know what to face versus this big, huge 3 million. I mean, there's other ships we can face it first, but I like it. I don't know why I keep going to October. I'm living in the past. Alright. LT-140D. What does that stand for? Three lasers, 2 disruptors, cargo space, no hyperdrive, but I don't think it needs a hyperdrive for probably what it's designed for. It probably has good speed too, looking at these big thrusters and then these small ones. I never thought of doing these tiny thrusters like that. But that gives it the movement. Huh. Low-tech early game parts. LT, low-tech early game parts. Yeah, all early game stuff. This is a deadly ship to face. How much does this thing cost? 128? I don't think I have anything that can face that. I guarantee that my ship right here, 128, won't even stand a chance. This ship right here, rip this other ship apart. No problem. Yeah. Yeah, no problem at all. Alright. I like it too much. I like it so much that this has to go... if I can even do save ship. This has to go here somewhere. I'll mess with this sometime later. I don't like it. We'll have to showcase this in a real game. That's a cool ship. Cool ship, I like it. Where did I put it? There it is. Okay. We'll mess with it later. November 8th. LT-140. Maybe we'll like this one even more because it's incrementally making cooler ships. LT-40. A second design. Still has the 3 lasers on both sides with disruptors placed a little bit different. Very interesting idea. This one actually has a hyperdrive. I can see why this one's version 2 of it. But the real question is, which one is better? 140D or 140V? Because even though you have this armor layer stacked here like this one has these angles. Maybe because it can do the constant base of fire and how it's designed. Honestly, I would think this one is better if you just added a little bit more armor or something on it. But this one might be outperforming it. Here's my issue with this one. This one only, I guess it does have thrust on the sides here. I don't know. Which one do you prefer, diagonal ship or a square ship? Yep, this diagonal ship. This one, even though it's cheaper, D for diagonal. Diagonal one, I like diagonal ships better just because you can see right here. Even though the vertical ship costs more, the diagonal ship has a better advantage. Slight better advantage. That's cool. I like them both. But I'm gonna stick with the diagonal ship because that's the kind of ships I like to build. Sparrow! Another diagonal ship. I just pulled in the wrong one, didn't I? Probably an upgrade of the other ship. Oh, you got chain guns on here. This long walkway with no walkways on there, just this corridor. See how long they had to take to run down there? What would it cost to move everything up one so you can have a double, so you can go up and down? Other than that, the frontal armor is nicely designed, like how a lot of host ships designed this originally. I don't know what to say besides deadly, deadly. And even though you lost this, the power plant's still there. And it's still going because he has it. He has it so literally, see this? The shields are still going. It's still protecting. Yeah, even though you lost the big shields, it still protected everything, so... Nicely designed. Deadly ship. Definitely a deadly ship there, Hosep. Alright. We got Turtle Tipper. Turtle Tipper's got a whole bunch of ships in here. Arrowhead, a new Arrowhead. MK, whatever. I know you had another Arrowhead here. We'll just face invert each other so you see the difference. Arrowhead, Arrowhead, 0.3. If someone were to shoot this Arrowhead at you, and it was this size compared to a normal Arrowhead, can you imagine what this would do? And you see how they don't get stuck on each other, so I like that. If you had multiple, it can broadside just fine. Have you faced these here in Turtle Tipper and PvP? I love all the walkways, cannons, armor, speed-wise. A very deadly ship to face. How much does the thing cost? Oh, that's a 2 million, that's a 1 million. Yeah. Massive cannons. Would love to see how this faces in a PvP battle versus something like that. Because in a frontal assault, if anybody stops right in front of you, the damage and the amount of cannons on this thing. I mean, there are cannons in the back. See how this one keeps shooting into this one? So when we're first front to front, this cannon either needs to move a tiny bit more out or move forward a little bit. But it doesn't need to, because most of the time you're going to be broadsiding or something else. But that's the cannon right there. I see it keeps shooting into each other. This one right here. The back two. But you can see it's got a ton of firepower, so very nicely designed there, Turtle Tipper. I think of just PvP ships when I see something like that, so that's cool. Oh, we need to come back over here November 8th. Bully ship. Bully ship. 1 million bully ship. Yeah, I can see a bull on it. Bully bully. It's an ion ship. I didn't even know what it was until I actually started shooting. All I saw was the design. A bully with a red tongue. You just saw that right there, how it just easily went through. Is there any protection down this little tiny shaft? Okay, that's a downside for the bully ship. If anybody gets a lucky shot right down this shaft, you have no protection for this one tiny ion right here. There's no shields in the back. There's no shields in the front. So all you need to do is either get a railgun shot or the ion beam literally just does that and gone. So all this other design is just for looks. You have not enough protection in the front. So yeah, that's my comments there on that bully ship. Cool, I like the paint though. But you probably should add in this right here with the command deck in the middle. You blow up this, you blow up the command deck, the ship's gone. So, and then you have power resources issues because I see some of these are going out. Yeah, it needs shields, and then you need to figure out your power distribution a little bit better because you see how these ones are running out of power. So, something to think about there. Let's take this out, and I need to check on what is going on here with all these noises. Sorry, getting pinged here to do. Well, maybe I'll only do one more ship, and I might have to jump out and do a bunch of other things. So, was this chain gun ship prototype? Did it not get put in there? Chain gun ship prototype. And we'll have to come back for more ships after. Maybe I should just move to Zong School, however many ships Zong School has. Wow. That's a beast. That's a beast to face with how many chain guns are in the middle. I can only imagine what it would do to another ship. How much does this cost? 2.6 million. Definitely probably have to end it a little bit early. What are we at? So flags, I didn't get these two here. I know this is on school. I know Zoncool has a bunch of these ships. I will have to cut it short, but we'll at least look at this one ship here for Zoncool because I know you've been waiting. Let's come over here. That's a neat design. Definitely an upgrade from the one that I had. You might need a tiny bit more armor in the front. You get all this armor on the side, all this armor in the back, and you get these EMP in the back. I think the frontal armor is still lacking. But I guess you don't have a ton of firepower for just 2 heavy lasers and disruptors. Maybe more armor, more firepower? I don't know, the EMP definitely does its job. For something that's that cheap, 28 crew with 223. Like if we were to face this for... I don't even have a good example. I still think your ship should probably win. Because the EMPs are going to do so much more. Unless the EMPs only hit the side. Even still, the double heavy lasers with the disruptors on the side. See, you can't shoot these angles in, so if a small tiny ship gets up to you in front, but still, bigger generator, more shields. Yeah, this ship is still nicely designed there, it's on school, so cool design there. Sorry I have to cut this short. I know there's a bunch of ships I didn't get to cover, but I gotta go. So if you enjoy this content, please feel free to smash the like button. Helps me out a ton, helps to push out this content to other people. If you would like, please feel free to leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, especially what you don't like so that I can improve and make better content. If you have not already, please feel free to subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, that's okay as well. Come back once a week, once a month, check out what content I have. I know I'm not streaming daily anymore. I got kind of really busy. Things have been going on, so lots of work, lots of things going on. So anyways, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for supporting me, and I'll stream when I can. And you all have a wonderful rest of your day.